What is up, YouTube family? It is your girl GC the Trader, and we are back with another weekly breakdown, you guys. About that, you guys. Today is May 17th, 2026, and we have closed out. I believe this was the third week of May. So yeah, you guys, it's been a minute since your girl made a video. If I'm not mistaken, let me see when my last video was, you guys. It's been a minute. Yeah, my last video was 2 weeks ago. Been very busy, just been trying to focus on my trading account and build it up so I can pass it and get that payout, you guys. So I've really just been concentrating on trading for the last 2 weeks, but I wanted to be able to give y'all a video before May ended, you guys. So we took a few different trades coming into this third week of May. I believe I traded micro S&P, micro NQ, and then ES minis. So yeah, we took some pretty good trades this week, so I'm gonna go over that with you guys. The first trade we took was on Tuesday. I did not take any trades on Monday. I've been working on giving Mondays a break, especially because a little bit of last month and a little bit of the first Monday of this month, your girl has been taking L's. It has been eating up my profit, and it's not like little bitty L's. It's like $300, $400, sometimes five. So I decided to give Mondays a break because it seems like I'm a little antsy on Mondays. I'm quick to trade and I'm willing to risk a lot more than I planned on going into that day. So coming into the second week of May, I decided to not second week of May, my apologies. I mean the third week of May. I guess you could say it's the second week of May. Yeah, but yeah, coming into the second Monday of May, I decided to give Mondays a break and not trade, especially after I took that L the previous Monday. So I did not take any trades Monday, but I did take trades Tuesday. As you can see, we are on our micro NQ chart, you guys. So coming into my session, I noticed that my London session, we were in a deep consolidation. I seen the manipulation right here, but I didn't get in for these buys. I'm pretty sure some people probably got in for this quick little buy right here because this is the accumulation, this is the manipulation, and this will be the distribution right there. But I liked its sales coming into Tuesday on micro NQ. I liked sales, so price gave me a 15-minute supply. I waited for it to form me a 5-minute supply, waited for the retest of the 5-minute supply, and then when it broke, I ended up entering. But as you can see, that 9:30 open gave me a nice down push. I had marked a 5-minute bullish fair value gap right there, and price did react with it twice. It gave me a nice push I wanted. I did not move my stop loss to break even when price did come down and hit my one-to-one a little bit. But then that 9:35 candle, price just reversed and shot up to my TP. So shot up to my stop loss, my apologies. So this loss, if I'm not mistaken, was a loss of like $250. Now mind you guys, before these two trades, I took 4 trades on Tuesday, which is a lot more than I'm normally used to, but I did trust sales. So coming in, I had caught I don't know why I didn't save my trade markups, but anyway, coming in, I had caught this move right here. Price had um, gave me the retest of my 15-minute. It broke past a 5-minute, and I decided to enter. And as you can see, I ended up getting a profit probably like $70 on this trade, but then I ended up getting stopped out. So then I entered back into the trade, and I ended up getting stopped out right about here, and that loss was about $250. I have a markup of the trade amounts that each trade was. I'm going to put that at the end of this trade breakdown. But yeah, you guys end up taking a 250 loss, which was ended up being this one. My apologies. End up taking a 250 loss. I took another minor scalp right here. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why It didn't mark up my things like the other two, but I took a minor scalp right here. I think this scalp was like $158 because I ended up getting stopped out at breaking it. Then I closed out one contract and then ended up reversing to my break even. That was like at $8. So for this trade right here, it was like a total of 158, which took out a little bit of that loss from that 250 loss. But I still trusted buys. Once price came up and broke through my zone, once it came back down and broke, I waited for it to retest a 5 minute that was within my zone. Once I got that retest, I entered. I think I had about two contracts, maybe two to three. I think I had three contracts on this one. I closed out one contract at my 101. I believe that was like 166. And then once price gave me this big move right here, I ended up adjusting my stop loss to my 1 to 1, my 2 to 1. And as you can see, this blue candle ended up coming up and knocking me out of the trade. You guys ended up getting stopped out in my 2 to 1. My 2 to 1 was like 260, maybe 270 some dollars. So made a nice amount of this trade. I think altogether for this trading day, if I'm not mistaken, was probably about 334. So I am going to put my P&L right here and also the P&L for each one of the trades that I took on this day, you guys. But as you can see, after we got stopped up, price came back, retested. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this was a 30, a M30 right here. Retested that M30 and basically just continue down to my TP that I had marked. Would have been a nice $500-600 day, but after taking that 250 loss, I was very grateful for what I was able to catch after that loss, you guys. So yeah, this was Wednesday. This was Tuesday. Not too bad. Ended that day with 334, you guys. So my next trade was on Wednesday, and that was for ES. So let's go to Wednesday. There we go. Give it this. So coming into Wednesday, I noticed price did the same thing it did on Tuesday. We were in a consolidation for a majority of London session. And then once we broke out of that consolidation, we came back, almost retested this M5 that I had marked. If we would have retested this M5, you guys, I definitely would have entered into these sales. But I was waiting. Once I saw price didn't tap that, I was waiting to see if it would give me another sell opportunity. When that 930 candle came, it just broke down and just continued to go down. Didn't really give me a sell opportunity. It gave a few scaps opportunities. If you were on the 3 minute, it gave, did it give an opportunity on the 3 minute? No, not even on the 3 minute. Let me see if it gave opportunity on the 1 minute. Okay, yeah, it did give a 1 minute. So if you trade in 1 minute, you was definitely able to catch this 1 minute supply right here. So price definitely gave you that retest, and that could have been a nice little scalp. But I was trading on my 5 minute, you guys. And as you can see on my 5 minute, it was no clear retest of zones, just pretty much continuations and little minor scalps if you know how to do it. But once I seen price give me this strong rejection, I had a strong feeling that price was about to get ready to correct and go into buys because we had an all-time high. We had an all-time high that was right there. So I had faith that NQ, not NQ, my apologies. I had faith that ES would go and take out that all-time high. My apologies, y'all. So, yeah, and what I've learned based off of trading, after this being like my fourth all-time high since I've been trading, had a few all-time highs on NQ when I first started, had a few all-time highs on gold when I first started, and then now, having a few all-time highs on ES. What I've learned about trading all-time highs so far is that anytime there's an all-time high, it's like a magnet. price just wants to keep going to it. So I know a lot of people probably sold off this week due to the all-time highs, and there were sell opportunities. But for the most part, when there are all-time highs, it just seems like price just keeps going higher and higher and higher. So once I didn't get any sell opportunities, and once I seen that strong rejection and reversal signal, I was no longer interested in sales, and I immediately switched my bias to buys, you guys. So as you can see, we had a 5 minute order block. Price came and did a minor breaker structure, retested that. I marked up this M5, not necessarily this one. I don't like taking the first demand or supply setup when the trend is getting ready to change, because sometimes those can be fake outs and price can just go a little lower to grab liquidity and then just shoot higher. So I never take the first demand zone that forms. I wait for the second one. So once I got my second demand zone, minor breaker structure as well, got the retest. I entered once the candle broke, not necessarily out of my zone, but once the candle broke the high of that bullish, of that bearish candle right there. Enter. Price was doing good. Trail type because these are minis, so I was only going for a 1-on-1, risking 300 for 300. Nothing too crazy. Ended up getting stopped out right here once we had passed once we had passed like a little, I think it was like $200. Once I got like $200 into profit, that's when I moved my stop loss to about $80. And as you can see, this candle printed right after and ended up coming to stop me out of this trade and then hit full TP. So price came down into retest this demand zone that formed on top of the demand zone that I took. So was not okay with just taking the $80. I'm gonna be real with y'all. So I decided to wait for another setup. Right here, from what you can see, this is a 15-minute demand right here. So I had that 15-minute demand marked. Price ended up breaking out of that 15-minute demand on my 5-minute, as you can see, came back and retested the area, and then once it broke again, that's when I decided to enter, when price broke that M5 bearish candle right here. I entered risking the same thing, 300 for 300, and as you can see, probably less than 10 minutes later, we hit full TP of $300. So I'm gonna put my P&L right here for this trade day on Wednesday. We end up walking away with $379, you guys. So that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade day. I really like buys on ES. And yeah, as you can see, we definitely could have took it higher because ES went crazy, but wasn't trying to be greedy, was just going for a simple 1-on-1 due to it being minis. And I'm just trying to grow my account, necessarily not trying to hit home runs, but trying to grow my account, you guys. So we traded every day this week except for Monday, you guys. So the next trade was on Thursday, and we are back on the minis. Thursday. All right, you guys. This was Thursday. Okay, so coming into the session, had a small consolidation, had a minor consolidation, my apologies, in a during London session. Price gave me an M5 and an M15. As you can see, I missed my first entry right here. As you can see, this was a entry. This was the break of structure. Price came back to retest. This was my 15-minute markup. Price came back to retest that 15-minute on my 5-minute and took off. But I ended up missing that entry, so I marked up this as my 5-minute entry, as a 5-minute zone as well. Price came to retest it once. Yeah, price came to retest it once, missed that one, retested it again, and it was my apologies, y'all, getting a little tongue twisted. So on this zone, I had two retests, both very aggressive. This was the first retest, no candle close in the zone, which is good. Got the second retest, no candle close in the zone, which is good. Normally you get in at the break of the candle, but because this candle was so big, I decided to enter in early and waited for price to pretty much break that open of this bearish candle. And once price broke that open of that bearish candle, I entered, if I'm not mistaken, I was risking 40 ticks. So two contracts of, yeah, two contracts of 40 ticks. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I was in this trade heavy. I was in this trade like four contracts. So I entered in two contracts, and then I added two more contracts once price broke this most recent high. And then as you can see, I ended up moving once I got this nice push, because this was a bullish candle, but it turned bearish by the time it closed. And I ended up moving my stop loss about right here. Ended up getting stopped out of the trade about right here. So yeah, I ended up getting stopped out of the trade. Like as soon as I moved my stop loss, I ended up getting stopped out of the trade. And if I'm not mistaken, for this trade, um, mm, I was at break even on one, and then my stop loss was probably like $12 in the negative, $20, $12 to $20 in the negative. So my first two contracts, I was at break even when I ended up getting stopped out of that trade. Those first two contracts was like $42. And then the second two contracts, I ended up getting stopped out of those at like $25. So for Thursday, you guys, we ended up walking away with a $12 profit. Did not make as much as I wanted to make, you guys, but, and as you can see, price hit my target beautifully, but I decided to let it roll. I decided to walk away and just take my $12 profit for the day, because we had already made $700 2 days earlier. So I wasn't trying to be greedy going into Thursday. So I just took my $12 and I decided to call it a day, you guys. Gonna put my P&L right here. But as you can see, price did exactly what we wanted it to do. Your girl just moved her stop loss too quickly and ended up getting stopped out of this trade, you guys. And this was the trade, I'm not even gonna lie to you, that I decided that I would be done moving my stop loss to break even unless I um whatchamacallit, unless I closed out some contracts, because originally my stop loss was right here, you guys. Right up in here, like right under here. So price never came back. Price never came back that far. If I would have left my stop loss where it was, I still would have been in this trade, would have hit full TP. But yeah, this is the trade where I said unless I didn't close out contracts, I'm not moving my stop loss anymore, you guys. So yeah, that was Thursday, $12, not too bad. Let's see, Friday S&P as well. Mini micros. Like I only traded minis once this week. So let's see. So this was Friday, you guys. Definitely was in the consolidation. Majority of London and New York. Coming into, I seen Asian did a serious drop, like pretty much S&P and NQ dropped all of Asian session, dropped a little bit of London session, then went into a consolidation. As you can see, I had an M15 marked here because coming in, it did seem like buys. I mean, it did seem like sales had possession, but I've been trading buys all week, so I was keeping my buy bias for today. But I did have that M15 marked up just because I know that there was a possibility that we could sell off today, especially coming into the charts and seeing that all my higher time frames will sell. So this was kind of like a counter trend trade, but I only took that counter trend trades because we have been buying off all week. So this is the only time that S&P just really sold off for the session, you guys. So yeah, coming in, I had the M15. Price came down and gave me a retest right here. I wanted to wait closer until 9 a.m., you guys. And the reason why I said I wanted to wait closer to 9 a.m. is I have been taking a few London session trades, but I really wanted to start waiting until New York session. Especially, I traded New York all week this week. I did not trade London session, so I didn't want to do anything crazy like trading London session when I didn't trade London session all week. Now that's different. If I couldn't trade New York, then I'll trade London. But there was nothing stopping me from trading New York this week, so I didn't really have a need to really look at London session outside of just trying to, get price action, see how price action about to be moving. So outside of that, I wasn't really interested in taking any trades during London session. But as you can see, we got the break from our M15 on our M5. We got the retest on our M5. You could have entered once price passed the broke of that candle. And that could have been a nice little, depending on your contracts. I would have been in this trade because it was a London session. I would have went in light risk 50 ticks. I mean 30 ticks for my normal 80 ticks, which is about $100 when you're doing micro ES. So if you would have went in 3 contracts, that is a total of 90 ticks. So you would have been risking probably about 120, 130 some dollars, and you could have made a nice little $300 profit off of that just by trading that retest off of the M15 on your M5. But as I said, I wasn't really interested in sales at that moment. And once I seen price sweep liquidity, it came down, gave a signal as if it wanted to sell, but came back, gave it again, then went into a minor consolidation. Once price did that, I knew that we were sweeping liquidity. But as you can see, we got a liquidity sweep and a liquidity grab. So ES kind of did a little double there, but we'll get into that later. But once price gave me this, I took this as a double top, and if you want to be a double bottom, you want to be technical, a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I took this as a double bottom, only because price did that. Price failed to give me a candle close underneath these wicks. So that was a signification to me that the buyers were coming in. So I marked up that M15. I had an M5 within that M15. Price broke my M15 and my M5. Came back to retest my M15 and my M5. And once price gave me the break of the candle, I ended up entering. I entered this candle, not this doji candle, but I entered this candle. And we did great, you guys. Coming into here, my target was 200, but all week price has been buying or selling past the price that I predicted. So I said, you know what? Instead of closing out at my 2 to 1, I'm gonna try to hold to see if I can hold my trades. And we was up like $220, you guys. Once we got up $220, instead of closing at 200, I said, I'm gonna hold to see if I can get to a 3 to 1. To see if price could, edge the tip of that zone. I mean, the tip of that key level. And as you can see, guys, we got very, 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 very close. Ended up getting like 230 in profit, and then just reversed. My stop loss was at my 1 to 1. I was in 2 contracts, if I'm not mistaken, and ended up walking away on this trade probably like 90 something dollars, maybe 92, whatever the case may be. I was not upset. I did not, well, 97, there's what it was. It was $97. It was like $100, but after like $2.48 of fees, we ended up walking away with $97.52, you guys. So I was not upset. Like, of course, my ego's like, oh man, we could have had $200. Y'all, I had an amazing week this week. Like, I wasn't trying to be greedy. I took my $100 and I was good for the day. As you could see, we had the right idea. We just had the wrong time. It didn't come and hit my take profit area that I predicted well until 2 o'clock, you guys. I don't trade afternoon. So we got a little close after price came and grabbed liquidity for the last time, and then boom, you get what I'm saying? Gave a nice final little push. Still didn't hit full TP, but hit close enough. Gave people to sell opportunities off of this M15. I know a few people who caught this move off of the M15. Boom, this was a nice little push from that sale of the M15, and then they gave you another retest off that M15, and you could have caught you a little bit more before price ended up um, reversing for a minor moment. You guys, so yeah, this is what we ended up walking away with for the day, $97.52. So yeah, you guys, we had an amazing, amazing, amazing week. For the month, let me double check. I mean, for the week, Let me double check, you guys. Hold on one moment. Trying to get the exact amount. I'm also going to put that P&L on there as well. So for week 3, you guys, and I knew it was week 3. Like I thought it was week 2, but yeah, I knew it was week 3. But yeah, anyways, for week 3, you guys, we ended up walking away with $824 for the week. Was very very proud of myself. That's the most I was able to end my week with since I started trading. Uh, Normally, coming into the end of the week, I have good days, but it's like sometimes those bad days, the week early in the week, just eats up my profit. So I've made thousands of dollars in a week. You get what I'm saying? But some days, due to bad trading, emotional trading, FOMO trading, it really used to eat your girl profits up. So this is the first week since I started trading over a year and a half ago that your girl was able to end her week with over a certain amount. So yeah, $824.18 for the week, you guys. For the month, we are up $1,035.29. This is the most I've ever made on a funded account, you guys. Like lately, it's been in the past, it's been very hard to grow my funded account over $500. Like once I get to like 50,500, your girl just starts trading horribly. But this is my first account where I've gotten it over $1,000. We're at 51 something, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm very, 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 very proud of myself. Very, very proud of how I traded this week. We had a green day every day this week. We was not greedy. We accepted and we walked away when we needed to. And yeah, just very, 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 very proud of myself. Can't wait for next week to see what your girl do. Can't wait to end May. Have a very, very strong feeling that this is my month and I'm not giving up until the fat lady sings. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you guys, that this was our trading week. May, what was it? If I'm not mistaken, what, May 13th? May 13th or May 12th to May 15th, you guys. So this was our trade week. I hope y'all had an amazing week. Hope y'all was able to make some money. Hope y'all was able to pass some funded accounts. Um, and yeah, let's have another amazing week next week, you guys. Let's trade smart. Let's trade strategically. And until next time, your girl GC the Trader is out. Peace and love, y'all.